There will be over 60 new EV models on sale in 2026. Only 5 of them are actually worth your money. That's not an opinion. That's what happens when you strip away the marketing and look at reliability data, real charging speeds, and what these cars actually cost you after year 1, year 3, and year 5. The EV market has never offered more choice, but more choice doesn't always mean better value. Walk into any showroom right now and you'll see a dozen electric SUVs and sedans that look almost identical on paper. Same range claims are rounded up to the nearest 100. Same 15-inch touchscreen bolted to the dash. Same promises about industry-leading technology, and most of them are forgettable the moment you actually drive them off the lot and live with them for 6 months. The problem isn't that these cars are bad. The problem is that most of them are average. Dressed up to look exceptional. And average is expensive when you're talking about a $45,000 to $80,000 purchase that's supposed to last you the better part of a decade. Today we'll rank the 5 EVs that truly stand out based on reliability, technology, charging speed, ownership costs, and real-world driving, not just flashy spec sheets and press release numbers that never hold up once the car is actually in your driveway. These are the EVs I'd confidently recommend in 2026. No sponsors, no dealership kickbacks, just the data and the driving experience stacked side by side. Let's start the countdown. Number 5. BYD Seal. BYD has quietly become one of the biggest names in the EV industry, and the Seal is the car that proves it. This isn't a budget compromise wearing a nice badge. The Seal sits on BYD's 800-volt e-platform 3.0 with a structural blade battery pack that isn't just bolted underneath the floor. It's part of the car's actual skeleton. That gives the Seal a torsional rigidity of roughly 40,500 Newton-meters per degree, well above the industry average of around 25,000. In plain terms, the chassis is stiffer, safer in a crash, and quieter over rough roads than most sedans in its class. The battery itself isn't just about safety either. It's the reason the Seal can offer up to 700 kilometers of CLTC range in the Prestige trim, while keeping the price well below what a European or American automaker would charge for the same numbers. You're getting excellent value. Genuine blade battery technology, strong efficiency, and premium features all in the same package. A combination almost nobody expected from a Chinese sedan 5 years ago. Inside, you get a rotating 15.6-inch infotainment screen, a 12-speaker Dyne audio sound system, dual wireless smartphone chargers, heated and ventilated front seats, and a 53-liter front trunk for extra storage, which most sedans in this class simply don't offer. The exterior isn't just for show either. A drag coefficient of just 0.219 puts it in the same aerodynamic conversation as dedicated sports coupes. The Performance AWD variant produces a combined 390 kilowatt and hits 100 kilometers per hour in 3.8 seconds. That's supercar territory acceleration wrapped inside a practical 4-door family sedan. Safety data backs this up too. In independent Euro NCAP testing, the Seal scored a full 5 stars, with an 89% adult occupant protection rating and a 76% safety assist score. Numbers that stack up favorably against sedans costing significantly more. The Seal has already picked up hardware to back up the hype. A top 3 finish in the World Car of the Year awards, the Japan EV of the Year title in back-to-back years for BYD, and the distinction of being the first Chinese-made car shortlisted for Japan Car of the Year. This car proves that Chinese EVs are now serious global competitors, not getting there eventually, already there right now at a price point that makes the rest of the segment look overpriced. Number 4. Kia EV9. The EV9 completely changed expectations for electric family SUVs. Most 3-row electric SUVs feel like an afterthought. Camped third rows, sluggish charging, interiors that feel like a rental car. The EV9 throws that formula out. It gives you 3 rows of seating for up to 7 adults, fast 800-volt charging, real comfort, and outstanding day-to-day practicality, which is exactly what most 3-row EVs promise and fail to deliver. Here's the number that matters most. On a 350 kilowatt DC fast charger, the EV9 goes from 10 to 80% in just as little as 24 minutes. That's a road trip charging stop, not a coffee and a nap situation. Kia didn't stop at charging speed. The EV9 offers more passenger room than the Rivian R1S and more second-row legroom than a Cadillac Escalade ESV. The available lounge seats, heated, ventilated, and power reclining turn the second row into the best seat in the house. And Kia backs the whole thing with a 10-year, 100-mile limited battery and EV system warranty, one of the strongest protections in the entire segment. It's simply one of the best family EVs you can buy today. Anyone who's actually loaded 3 kids and a week's worth of luggage into a compact electric SUV knows exactly why that matters. Space isn't a luxury feature. It's the difference between a road trip your family enjoys and one everyone dreads. Number 3. The XPENG G6. The XPENG G6 is one of the biggest surprises of 2026. This is a company most Western buyers had never heard of 2 years ago, and it's now building a car engineered to go head-to-head with Tesla's bestseller, and in several areas, beat it. The G6 backs that up with ultra-fast charging, genuinely modern software, competitive pricing, and an impressive driving range, which together explain why this car keeps showing up in comparison videos it has no business winning. The G6 rides on a full-domain 800-volt high-voltage silicon carbide platform compared with a next-generation 5C battery, which allows it to charge from 10 to 80% in as little as 12 minutes. 12 minutes. That's faster than most people take to order and pick up fast food. The cabin leans hard into comfort, with power reclining Napa leather seats, a 2.4K floating touchscreen, and a full-car voice activation that works even from the back seat. Safety isn't an afterthought either. The battery uses a triple-layer shield designed to resist impact, fire, and thermal runaway, with real-time fault detection that can isolate the pack automatically if something goes wrong. It has quickly become one of the strongest alternatives to the Tesla Model Y. For years, alternative to a Tesla meant a car that was cheaper but felt like a compromise. The G6 flips the script. In several categories, it isn't catching up to the segment leader. It's setting the pace and daring everyone else to keep up. Before we get to the top 2, if this ranking is saving you from a bad purchase decision, hit that like button. It costs nothing and tells the algorithm to keep putting videos like this in the front of people who need them. Number 2. Tesla Model Y Juniper. Despite increasing competition from every direction, the Model Y remains incredibly difficult to beat. The updated Juniper version isn't a reinvention. It's a refinement of a formula that already works better than almost anything else on the road. A 79 kilowatt-hour usable battery delivers a real-world combined range of 475 kilometers. And the supercharger network means that number is backed by the most reliable fast-charging infrastructure on the planet, not a patchwork of third-party networks with spotty uptime. The supercharger network alone would be enough to justify its place on this list, but the Model Y also delivers outstanding efficiency, refined software, and the kind of everyday usability rivals still struggle to match. The efficiency numbers still embarrass most of its competitors, sipping energy at around 166 watts per kilometer in real-world testing, which stretches every kilowatt-hour further than almost anything else on this list. And the software experience, the over-the-air updates, a car that genuinely improves after you buy it, is a dynamic that traditional automakers and even some EV-only rivals still haven't matched. It continues to set the benchmark for mainstream EVs, not because it's flashy, because it's relentlessly competent everywhere, every time. That's an easy thing to overlook when you're comparing spec sheets, but it's the exact thing that matters most 3 years and 40,000 miles into ownership, when the charger you pull up to actually works and the software update that landed overnight actually fixed the bug you complained about. And number 1. BMW iX xDrive 45. The BMW iX isn't the cheapest EV, but when you weigh luxury, ride comfort, real-world range, build quality, and long-distance driving all together, it's one of the most complete electric vehicles available today. This is where the difference between a good EV and a great one becomes obvious. The iX doesn't just move you from point A to point B efficiently. It does it while isolating you from road noise, absorbing broken pavement like it isn't there, and wrapping you in cabin materials that feel like they belong in a car costing twice as much. The xDrive 45 pairs strong real-world range with an air suspension setup that makes long highway stretches feel short. This isn't a car built to win a spec sheet argument on a forum. It's built for the driver who spends 3 hours a day behind the wheel and wants every one of those minutes to feel effortless. BMW's engineer's pedigree shows up in the details other automakers skip. The cabin stays whisper quiet at high speed. The chassis handles a mid-corner bump without unsettling the car. The interior feels genuinely premium years and tens of thousands of miles in. Add in BMW's dealer network, established service infrastructure, and decades of long-term reliability data on its platforms, and you get an EV that doesn't ask you to gamble on a new brand to get a genuinely luxurious ownership experience. It's one of the most complete electric vehicles available today. Full stop. None of this means the iX is perfect. It costs more than everything else on this list. And if your only priority is range per dollar, there are cheaper ways to get there. But that's the point of this ranking. We're not measuring which car looks best in a spreadsheet. We're measuring which car earns its price every single day you own it. And the iX does that better than almost anything else wearing an EV badge right now. Which one would I personally buy? Every buyer has different priorities, and there's no single right answer here. If you're looking for value, the BYD Seal wins. Full stop, nothing else on this list touches its price to performance ratio. If you need family practicality without compromise, the Kia EV9 wins, with charging speed and interior space that put three-row rivals to shame. If you want cutting-edge tech at a genuinely competitive price, the XPENG G6 wins, backed by charging numbers that make range anxiety a thing of the past. If you want the most dependable everyday ownership experience, backed by the best charging network on the planet, the Tesla Model Y wins, the way it has for years running. But if I had to choose just one for daily ownership in 2026, there's one clear winner, the BMW iX xDrive 45. It's not the flashiest number on a spec sheet. It's not the cheapest badge on the truck. But day after day, mile after mile, it's the one that doesn't ask you to trade comfort for range or luxury for reliability. That combination is rare in this segment, and in 2026, it's still the best one you can actually buy and live with. So, here's my question for you. Out of these 5, which one would you actually sit in your driveway? Drop it in the comments, and if this list saved you from buying the wrong EV, subscribe. We rank the ones actually worth your money every single week.